and welcome to the Deuce Podcast. I am Brad.
And I'm Nina Blackwood.
And that is Jeremy over there. And Jeremy is kind of throaty.
Apologies in advance. My voice sounds sexier.
I'm Nina
than
Blackwood. And this is the 80s.
I'm Nina Blackwood. What's your favorite 80s video?
Oh, that would be anything smoky like that. All right, we are doing episode 109, and it is Jeremy's pick. This kind of has a lot to do with you found this pick based on our previous episode, you would say, right?
Well, and I had been struggling. Like, I came up with this long list of movies that I thought, hey, this will be good for us. Ones where, like, it was some older movies and some that, like, you wouldn't normally think of as sequels or that you wouldn't think of when you think of sequels. I wanted to go back and do some more sequels, like, starting in the 80s got a lot more prevalent. And
since you're Nina Blackwood, the 80s.
Yes, and celebrating the 80s. No, I was like, well, let me go back and see if I can get something from before that maybe people don't know about.
Right.
But then we did Meatballs 2.
Right, Meatballs 2. So what would you do after Meatballs 2?
I was racking my brain and was thinking back to our episode where in the beginning I made a joke about we're not doing Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2?
No,
And then I went, holy shit, why don't we do Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2?
So, episode 109, we are doing Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, the 2013 movie to the 2009 movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Indeed.
Most of the original cast is back. That includes Bill Hader. Who else is in this? What's her face? Who was with
Anna Faris?
Anna Faris. Why couldn't I think of it? I was thinking Save Ferris.
That's
I was thinking of that ska punk band from the 90s, Save Ferris. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking of that.
James Caan is here.
James Caan.
Will Forte's back, but in a different role.
Yes. New people are Christian Shaw shows up, and Terry Crews takes the place of Mr. T.
Yes.
Who was in the original. Didn't know Mr. T was still around doing voiceover work.
Occasionally.
You remember the Mr. T cartoon, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where he traveled...
Where he tells kids to drink milk and go back to school. And
where he traveled around the states with
gymnast
kids.
Right? Yeah.
Sure. We'll go with it. Mm-hmm.
That's what he's known for, his gymnastics.
Gymnast kids, get in the van. Let's go. It's kind of creepy to me. I don't know why it was, but it just was. This movie actually was, when it was announced, it was going to be titled Cloudy 2 Revenge of the Leftovers. I actually like that.
I do too.
Title better.
I do too.
Because Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 doesn't quite make sense for the plot that we're doing.
Yes.
That title kind of makes a little bit more sense for what we're going to talk about. I don't know about you.
I agree. No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Like, it needed... I think it
needed to keep that Cloudy name, but like also
especially
have something else to it.
Like, sometimes sequel names really support the plot or like up the drama of it.
Right. Sister Act 2 Back in the Habit.
Yes. And I will say, like, I think the Jurassic Park movies and the Jurassic World movies do a good job with, like, the way they name their movies. Like, you're like, ooh, I get a sense of what's happening or what's going on.
Yeah.
I think they needed that here. Like, I think you could have said, Revenge of the Leftovers.
Yeah,
or
I agree.
Whatever it might have been. But, like, it could have supported and told you a little bit about, like, just a tantalizing piece about the plot. I think it's weird to say this, but I think the title would have also upped, like,
I think it would have too. It would have been like, ooh,
I'm interested in this, and then I could have gotten into it a little bit more.
I definitely agree with you. But before we go any further, we're going to talk about being no phonies.
We are,
because we are no phonies. We are part of the No Phony Podcast Network, a ragtag group of podcasts who support each other, do each other proud. Laugh, love, learn, and all that jazz. It is a ragtag group, like I said, many different podcasts, including our podcast, comedy podcasts, you would say informational podcast, rants, Herman James, you name it. We've got podcast galore. We've got conspiracy podcasts. I do believe that is our podcast of the month, right?
Yeah, the podcast of the month is Lights in the Sky.
Lights in the Sky.
And they are a casual paranormal podcast.
Yeah, I shouldn't really say conspiracy.
Well, it's part of it.
But part of it, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, if you look on there's a new feature on there. It's going to be the episode of the week. Last week's episode of the week was Release the Clowns, and their milestone of an episode 50, which involved a bunch of different podcasts reviewing their fake reviews that have been on their show. That was fun. I got to be involved with that with the different podcasts that I do. Listen to that. Listen to those guys. So if you like British comedy, in the vein of say Monty Python or even beyond that, I think you'll enjoy Release the Clowns. So make sure you release the clowns, you would say.
I would say that, yes.
Yes, I would say that. So, but we are going to do Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs too. But you know what? I want to call it the other name because I think the leftover name is so much better. Yeah. So, like I said, this does star Will Forte and Adam Sandberg. We forgot to mention him too, and Bill Hader. So a lot of SNL people.
Benjamin Bratt as Manny.
I said Benjamin Bratt
and Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, Neil Patrick Harris. Yes, correct. So the voice talent's there. I mean, the talent is there.
Yeah.
So there you go. This movie you can stream this movie for rent on Amazon.
Yeah.
Or any streaming service. I'm going to assume it's about $2.99 or $3.99.
Like $3.99.
About that. So if you want to watch it, go ahead. I think you can stream the original one
on Netflix.
If you're Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want to watch that, and then you can watch this one too if you want. So, but we are going to dive deep into Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. But first, Plot Summary by Jeremy.
All right, here I go. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Nina Blackwood, go ahead. Colleen Dewhurst, whatever you want to call your name.
Well, let me see if I can do this without
no, you're fine.
puking. I'm on the wrong screen. Hold on. Okay. After a disastrous food storm in the first film, Flint and his friends are forced to leave the town. Flint accepts the invitation from his old idol, Chester V, to join the Live Core Company, which has been tasked to clean the island and where the best inventors in the world create technologies for the betterment of mankind. When Flint discovers that his machine still operates and now creates mutant food beasts like living pickles, hungry tacodiles, shrimpanzees, and apple pythons, he and his friends must return to save the world.
There you go.
In a world without love,
where food goes crazy,
one food machine will destroy it all.
This was Kid Choice Award nominated, Satellite Award nominated, Visual Effects Society Award nominated. Didn't know that was a thing, and the British Academy Children's Award nominated.
What society?
The Visual Effects Society Awards.
Oh yeah. I think you need that. I think they get snubbed in a lot of other
You
things.
love the Cable Ace Awards when the Cable Ace Award. Like you want.
I will own a Cable Ace Award. I was pissed. One sold fairly recently.
One did sell,
and I didn't even realize that it was up for auction.
Whose was it?
I would have bid. I can't remember now. Yeah. I was just so mad. I think I threw my tablet across the room.
This is your goal to get a Cable Ace Award.
I want a Cable Ace Award. Listeners out there,
you want from. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want Kel Mitchell.
Kel Mitchell from Keenan and Kel?
Yes. I want Kel Mitchell's Cable Ace Award.
He has a Cable Ace Award, folks.
He does. And, well, deservedly so.
Yes.
But I want it. Yes. It will be mine one day. Yes. Kel Mitchell, if you're listening, please give me your Cable Ace Award.
Kel Mitchell's not listening to us.
Oh, come on.
He's listening to way worse podcasts than us.
His Kel senses are tingling.
His Kel senses?
You know,
he's got Kel senses now.
Whenever Kel Mitchell is mentioned,
he's a superhero that has Kel senses.
Yes, he is.
Wow.
He is.
Should we get into why we're here? Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs too?
Yeah.
So I thought we would tackle this film. We would start with just kind of the generals of the movie itself. I wanted to talk just a little bit about like the animation, the plot, and then go on to the world that is built with the food animals.
Yeah,
you would say, or food animals, or whatever.
Foodimals.
Foodimals. Okay. I didn't know how you felt about the animation in this movie, and since you're a big animation person, I wanted to know your take on the animation.
Yeah, I dislike it a lot.
I do too.
So obviously there's a lot of different animation houses.
Yeah.
Like I love the Disney and Pixar stuff. Like I always think they do well. Of course, they're like the Yankees. They throw their money at stuff. But I'm a big fan of.
You would call this the Milwaukee Brewer,
Yeah, I'm a big fan of DreamWorks.
Yeah. I'm even okay with DreamWorks.
Yeah, and like this is palatable, but it's to me it is it's a step above those movies like The Nut Job and Hoodwinked 2 and stuff like that. Like it's above those where they're herky jerky cheap ass whatever. Like this is the visual stuff is good. I just don't like the choices they make or like their designs of people.
Right. I don't like watching Nickelodeon with my niece, like when my niece was a little bit younger. And I mean my oldest niece, right?
Yeah.
And watching some of the animation that comes from that it reminds me of that. It's kind of that annoying movement that they have where it's fast. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I cannot stand that. It drives me nuts.
It
takes
fast.
me out of the story because it's chaotic, and I'm like, and I just feel like, and I feel like you're dumbing it down for kids in a way by making that movement, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why, and it has nothing to do with the plot by any means or the script. I feel like I just get annoyed by it. I think you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Especially our main character, where he's just kind of flapping his arms a lot.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, that's what gets me too. And it's a lot of like, I'll give you an example from this movie. Twice they use the same joke where they
use a lot of same jokes.
Right. Well, the father catches a sardine, or somebody catches a sardine, and he makes a rhetorical comment like, or like one time he goes, I wish that my son would be this into fishing. And the little sardine on the line goes, like makes a little awe sound. And it does it again later. And I'm just like, why was that even like necessary to this?
Don't know.
Or, it's just weird. Like there's a lot of extra weird excess things that don't need to be happening.
The character that I think that benefits for the herky jerkiness of it is the Will Forte character.
Too much though,
but it goes too much. Yeah, I was gonna say, but it's almost too much. There's a scene where he's just kind of like going like that.
Yeah,
and you can't see it because this is a podcast, obviously. But I'm moving my head like a chicken.
Yeah,
it's like I'm over here, I'm over here, I'm over here now, I'm over here. It feels very rushed and very like I don't know, out of control for like ADHD. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do we have to have animation like that?
Yeah, I just like the animation in this one a lot,
especially when you get like stuff like DreamWorks and like you said, because is How to Train Your Dragon DreamWorks?
Yeah,
like that's beautiful
and
animation
Kung Fu Panda
that can be and all that, right? And obviously, the gold standard, like you said, is Pixar.
Yeah.
Just seeing clips of like Toy Story 4 and I'm like, that's rain? Like that's just it's crazy.
Well, not even Pixar, like even the Disney stuff, like think of Zootopia.
Yes, even Zootopia, right? I don't know, just and maybe this is 2013, but still, I don't know. I had a hard time with it.
Yeah.
Like it almost brought me out of the story in a way.
Yes.
But,
yeah, it was a little over the top, but that works well for kids and stuff. And I think is more
I think it's aimed more towards younger.
Yeah.
But there are jokes that are not, that I'm like, a kid's not going to get that joke. A kid's not going to get the leak joke.
Yeah.
There's a leak in my boat. He's not going to get that.
Which
we're going to get that, but we're going to. But when we hear it again, it's not funny.
Yeah.
Like when you hear that joke twice, you're like, that's really not that funny. It's a giggle. This movie,
I think they did it 3 times.
That's why this movie, I giggled a lot. I wasn't flat out like laughing.
Yeah.
But
yes.
So I also wanted to talk about then the voice work that comes along with it.
Yeah.
Because I thought the voice work was fine.
Yeah, and it is like, I will say this is probably one of my least favorite Bill Hader roles, though.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think usually you get good Bill Hader. Like Bill Hader is very distinctive.
But yeah, that's what I mean.
It doesn't even sound like he's doing his voice. They were like, "Can you make your voice more milquetoast?" And that's kind of what he did.
I know, and I don't like that. You should have been Barry.
But to that point though, he's at least consistent with it through that. I think there's some of these other voice actors where I'm like, did your voice change part of the way through this? At least he's very consistent with it, and he enunciates very well, of course. And Bill Hader is wonderful with voices. And I don't mean to say that this voice acting by him isn't good. It's just not his strongest.
I think it's fine.
Yeah,
I think this voice work is all around the board fine. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think there's one person that outshines anyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Andy Samberg probably in this one, and it was like that in the first movie as well. His voice acting, but it's the character. The character is not very strong. His voice is fine. It's the character, and he actually had more lines in the first one, I think, too.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna assume a lot of people did.
Yeah,
but yeah, it just was because you get the monkey, right?
Yeah.
And when you told me the monkey was Neil Patrick Harris, I just went, well, that's kind of a waste.
Yeah.
Because here you have a talented person in Neil Patrick Harris, who, by the way, is triple threat.
Yeah.
The guy can do drama, comedy, dance, sing. This guy can is there anything that guy can't do? Magic, whatever. So you give him a monkey?
Yeah. But Steve talked a lot more in the first one too. Or
did he?
Other
but see, I've never seen the first one, so.
But you know what though?
But I feel like that's a waste.
But to his credit,
when you he's fine.
Yeah. No, what I was gonna say is when you have kids, sometimes it's just a point of being involved with stuff like that. In it, yeah. And so I'm sure that part of that is hey, look, Daddy's doing a voice, in this. Think of
but I almost wanted him to be the evil guy. Neil Patrick Harris.
What?
I wanted him to be the Will Forte character for some reason.
Yeah, that'd probably been better.
That would have been better for me.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's just me.
But Kristen Bell in Zootopia, she has 3 lines.
Yes, but those lines are wonderful.
Yes, they are. Yeah. But then she got to be hey kids, look, I'm in a thing.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I don't know. I'm just again though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that Will Forte did fine. He sounded like Will Forte. But did you notice early on he had kind of an accent?
Yes.
And it went away.
It went away.
So early on in the movie,
yeah.
So the guy,
it's like my Lawrence Welk impression. It just loses its accent after a while.
So his character Chester V, who's this inventor, is very he does these meditation things, and he does all these kind of hand gestures, and he does these very distinctive things,
right?
And as he's talking, because he's supposed to be this composite of the blue jean CEOs like Steve Jobs and Richard Branson and all that shit, and
trying to be hipster, trying to
where they're I'm the cool
one, but I'm 50 some years old.
Well, so he is at the beginning as he was doing things. I was like, oh, is this character supposed to be Indian? Because he had this very light.
That's interesting. Yeah.
He had this very weird kind of Indian accent.
That's kind of weird.
And I was just like, oh my God, he's doing an Indian accent. Will Forte, don't do that.
Yeah, right.
And it was maybe about after the first few times he showed up, I think it was after the vest ceremony, it goes away. And so I don't know if they were like, well, why were you adding that in? Or like they had to have a change of like heart of what they wanted to do with it, and they just kind of went back, or I don't know. But like there's some of the things in there where I'm like, oh boy, what is that you're doing?
Like, so even like a character like Terry Crews's character, like obviously he wasn't in the first one, but it seemed even restrained for Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know what I mean? It's like that guy can really go big. And you figured you would for a cartoon, you would go big, but maybe just they wanted the animation to be big.
Well, and I think he has to be consistent with the character from the first one, too.
Yeah, maybe.
He's only so big T gets.
Yeah, that's true.
But they did add things in here, like some of the movements where he's like, "Oh, my chest hair is tingling," or was doing things like that, and you see his pecs kind of bounce. They based some of that animation then and added that in from Terry Crews.
That's good though.
But so they evolved the character a little bit to be more like Terry Crews instead of Mr. T.
Yeah, this is true. Didn't I read that these are the same directors or creators that did the Lego movies too as well?
Yeah,
where we get Will Forte, obviously. So,
yes,
because he was in a lot of those,
and even then, like I like the Lego movie, but it also is a little spastic, like this one,
right?
A little bit,
but they're also Legos.
Yeah,
so I'm kind of okay with that. These aren't necessarily like Zootopia animals.
Yeah.
But even the Zootopia animals are more restrained than the humans in this movie. So it's just, I don't know. It's just so scatterbrained and everything. So I wanted to talk about the script a little bit, and then we'll get into the island, right? Again, this script is fine for me.
Yeah.
Again, I giggled at a bunch of places.
Yes.
I didn't laugh out loud.
Yeah.
LOL, as some people would say. But I was fine with it, but especially with the naming of the animals and stuff like that, because I'm a sucker for a pun.
Yeah.
So the puns are there.
But they don't tell you the names of the animals.
Tell you the names of them.
I think they are letting people figure them out.
Yeah.
A little bit, and that's why like some of them I did have figured out, but then as I'm reading them, I'm like, oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
That was great. Like, and there's a list of them here. They originally made like 120 different food animals, but only 39 made it into the final film.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have names of a couple of them?
Yeah, I have names of some of them.
Yeah.
First, though, I want to say that I'm really mad that Nannerpuss didn't make it in.
Shut up.
The octopus made out of banana. Anyway, there was fruit cockatiel, which was the birds where they were made of different fruits.
Yeah.
That was the one that I kept calling the pineapple owl.
Oh, that's funny.
There was a kiwi bird, which was made of actual kiwi. Hippopotamus, which was
I just said hippopotamus.
The baked potato hippo. Peanut butter and jellyfish sandwich.
Okay, that's what that was.
Yeah. The chimpanzee, of course.
The chimpanzee.
They said that one's name. Cheese spider. Jelly bee, which is a bee made of jelly.
Yeah.
Mosquitoast.
Sure.
Toasted bread in the form of mosquitoes with raisin eyes and cinnamon stick beaks.
Great.
Banana ostrich.
Right.
Which look like,
I guess,
looks like the Gallimimus from Jurassic Park. Like the
right. I mean, you have like these moments where you're like, this has the Jurassic Park moments.
Yes, very much so.
Which we'll
including there's like the scenes where I'm like, that's just shot
that's
for
just
shot.
Jurassic Park.
They also have flamingos.
Yes.
Mangoes. Watermelephant. Subwhales.
Yeah.
Lemongs.
Yeah, I mean, you get the point, right?
Lemon lemmings. Sushi. Right. Apple python.
Sometimes I wanted them to tell me though.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of got frustrated. I was like, well, who's that?
The one where I said I thought it was ant beater because I thought it was an ant eater, but they were ants. No, they were actually wildebeests.
Yeah. There was a lot of like in this script. There's a lot of toast jokes and a lot of cake or piece of pie. That's a piece of pie.
Yeah. And
this is a piece of cake.
The one I was very sad
and then the cake would look at you
and
you go, sorry, Like I'm just like, okay, I get it.
The one I missed that I'm really sad about is the eggplanety. Because I do love my manatees.
Yes.
There also was apparently there was a hidden animal in all of these too.
Okay.
That they just put like in the background of shots all the time. It's a hidden one. Its name is Sasquatch, and it's shaped like a hairy gourd.
Okay,
a gourd with hair on it.
That's nice.
But they just put it in the background
Just
because
in the
it's
background?
like Sasquatch. So
Gotcha.
so it
like,
was like in the back of
is he
shots
there? Is he
and like
not?
where you don't see it unless you're looking for it.
That's funny.
Which I was like, okay, I got you.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I love the fact that they did this, and I love the fact that they're building this world with that. I love it, but I also wanted to be told. I'm dumb. I wanted to be told a little bit about what each one of these are named, because I'm like, well, I go through all that and like have me decide what the name is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
You like owe up to your creativity. Like I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's just me though. How did you feel about like the kind of the just general jokes and then
I think the jokes fell a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think like the times when we giggled, it was one of two things. It was either like a dad joke.
Yes.
We were like ha, like because dad jokes. We're good with that. And then there was some where they had some smart humor, but it was delivered so well that it was like, okay, great, that's funny. Like I didn't expect it, and so it made me laugh. But I think they could have done with more of that.
They definitely could have done more with that.
And
I wanted that throughout the whole movie. Build that tone of it up.
Yes, agreed.
Instead we get the kind of the spastic tone of the character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but and I think that and that's something that if you don't think you can do both of those things, then again, I challenge you to look at like DreamWorks and all, and Disney and Pixar.
There are
and
a lot
like
of
whoever.
parallels between this and Meatballs too. Look at that.
Well, and Meatballs too. Shit, like they have stuff that's like, okay, family would get that, and then they have more adults things.
Yeah,
like, you have stuff.
I feel like this is the same way. It's just kind of like it didn't know. At times, the humor didn't know what it wanted to be.
Yeah, it's either be kiddie or don't. Like you're kind of
right, and like you can be kiddie and then also cater to adults. Obviously, we've seen it multiple times in movies.
Yeah.
Toy Story does it all the time. Pixar does it all the time.
Yeah,
you're just not doing it. Even like the Lego movies.
Yeah,
seem to have done it. So I'm just like, well, I don't know why this one you just were like, no. We're just gonna call it a day and be all like, here's what we have.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was, a year later you had to pump out a script. I mean, this is how long does it take to do animation?
Yeah, I'm sure it probably took a while.
Yeah, that's true. But in the process, you could still be writing that. So I don't know. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about the island itself.
Oh yeah.
What's the island called? Like where they live at?
I can't
Meatballville?
remember.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, Meatballville.
Meatballville. Yeah. Well, Jeremy looks that up. We'll be talking about the island. The island itself, like when we get to the island, I was like, okay, this is where it's gonna like pick up, right? Because before that, I was kind of bored.
Yeah.
With the whole scientists. And after a while, we're like, okay, we know he's evil.
Swallow Falls. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, too many jokes there. Too many easy jokes.
I think I've seen that place in other movies too.
I know. So
brown chicken, brown cow.
Brown chicken, brown cow. So, like, was it just me? Because before we got to the island, I was bored.
Yeah, and actually, the interesting thing is, like, I haven't seen this movie.
The first one?
I saw the first one, but I hadn't seen the second one.
Okay.
But, like, when he goes into, like, basically the Live Corp
Yeah, when he goes to the work.
to evacuate his town. And so they're like, okay, let's get you out of here. We're going to clean this up. And they move him to San Fran Jose, California. And he ends up getting invited to work for the company, for Live Corp. And so they have all sorts of scientists who like work and develop things or come up with these big ideas. And if you do something really good, you're an inventstronaut or
whatever,
the ideanaut or whatever,
sure.
Whatever it was. But he's working in these like cubicles, and I swear they did the same exact thing in the first movie.
Oh, did they?
I swear, because I've never seen this, and I was like, wait, I know this part or something similar.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, or I've seen it in another movie that's just so similar that it's like, ugh.
Don't get me wrong. This was cute.
Yeah,
this movie is cute. Like we keep saying, it just falls flat. This movie is cute, but I felt like, okay, now when we get to the island, things are going to pick up.
Yeah,
which they did for about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and then it kind of slowed down a little bit. Every time Will Forte's character came back, I just was
exactly.
We are stalling.
Yes,
his
character was.
Like I just thought, like as like an evil person, you're just not fitting the bill for me.
Yes,
I feel like we could have done differently with it, or I don't know. There was just something about it that really slowed down the plot for me. You know what I mean?
Yes, it did.
Because our character, like the Bill Hader character, should be that naive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No. Especially when you brought all your friends together. That's the lesson you learned in the first movie.
Yeah.
Are you just forget about it?
Well, and as a villain, he's not menacing. Like,
not at all. No.
I like a menacing
villain. If Colonel Sanders was like menacing with his stupid little goatee that he had. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just was like, he doesn't even look menacing. And he has like clones, and that's not menacing to me. The whole clone thing. Yeah. The hologram.
He does like at the very end when they start struggling a bit. Then I'm like, okay, you picked up a more evil character,
right?
But before that, it was just like, oh, okay,
oh, yeah, okay. Well, we've established who the hero is. We've established who the bad guy is.
Yeah.
Now, time to move the plot along.
Yeah, I think it's like he's bad just because.
Well, like he wants to make a bar.
Yeah, he
like
makes
an energy bar.
His company makes energy bars. That's what they started out with.
But he wants to make this new and improved energy bar.
The 8th version of it.
I don't know. It's just it seems because it's like that's the only reason why I had you, or like I invited you to work there to get your machine. So basically, they were just trying to clean it up by trying to find his machine, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I don't know. All that just makes no sense to me at all.
Or if you had the guy who created it, and he was employed by you, why don't you have him make another one?
That's what I mean. I don't understand why he can't make it, because obviously he's like, or we can make another Kaflanka, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Right?
Also,
and like, let's not do that. We'll just have him make another one.
Yeah.
You have a lab. Why do you go through all this, like, I don't know.
By the way, I hate that joke, and they say it constantly. I hated it in the first one, too.
The whole acronym of it falls flat.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
It should have, and it should have happened in the first one. They should have been like, well, why don't we name it something else?
Right.
But no, they love going filled smift or
right.
whatever.
I don't know why you can't call it the fart or something. But, bathroom humor is fun for kids, I guess. The island itself with all the different, like, it has these Jurassic Park dystopian in a way.
It's very much Jurassic Park. Even to the point where Sam Sparks, the weather girl, is wearing the same outfit that Laura Dern wears in Jurassic Park.
That's true. She did look like,
like it's the exact same outfit.
Yeah.
And so like pretty clear what they're trying to get at.
Right.
And there's even the scene where like the banana ostriches are like running like a Gallimimus in
Right.
the first movie where they're running and like Alan Grant takes the kids and dives behind a log and they're like jumping over.
Yeah.
Same thing basically is happening here.
Can I tell you what, like, what I really missed that I thought that they were going to do more is the fact that they got Benjamin Bratt's character and he's filming stuff. So why not have the point of view as a la, like, Cloverfield in a way?
Yeah.
Where you're kind of spoofing kind of those movies where it's from that point of view where the cheeseburger is chasing them, and it says how much battery you have left or whatever.
At least like a scene of that. Yeah.
They had that briefly for 2 seconds when they got off the boat, but like I was like, perfect. You could just do that and have a spoof of that.
Yeah.
Again, it's almost like I needed more spoofing of stuff.
Well, they already did that. They did Avatar. They did you get, like, it seems like they were like, oh my God, grab scenes from movies and smash them together and put food references in them.
Right.
Because, yeah, I mean, like, I love the island stuff, but like I think the Cloverfield thing, as long as you're doing all these other things, why not do that and just have a little fun? Even
just have a little fun with it.
A scene where you're running from the cheeseburger spider or whatever.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like I think that would have been fun. Mm-hmm. It adds a little extra, I don't know. To me, I don't know. You have these extra characters and you're kind of not using them.
Yeah,
in a way.
Yeah,
and also like the dad. I get like I don't get why he's there.
Yeah,
but I'm like I don't know. Like I had fun with this character.
Yeah,
but it was almost like it was pointless.
Yeah, I agree. It
was like pointless fun.
But I thought he was kind of like that in the first one too.
Perhaps maybe that's the character.
He was there because they were two different people, and
right. And
I mean, so like, and it was one of those like the dad. He was trying to get his dad's approval. His mom was the one who encouraged him to be an inventor. And so, like, he's just like, you don't understand me. And then the end is it
more?
Like,
was there more of that in the first movie?
Yeah,
because I feel like I wasn't leading up to all that. I was like, it's pointless.
It's like on a TV show where, like, you have two characters with differing opinions, and then one of them is like, I respect the hell out of you. And then the illusion that they're at odds is gone because you know that one respects the other.
Right. So I'm just like,
and so that's kind of what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about this movie?
I do think the island is gorgeous, and I love the way they did the animals. They actually, before they did that,
I agree.
The Cameron, whatever his name is, like the director, he and his team were like, let's make things out of clay and see what we like.
Sure.
And so they were sitting there just playing with clay or Play-Doh or whatever to see, like, to make some animals up, and they're like, I love that. Let's go with that. And that's how they got a lot of these.
I would have liked that more.
Yeah.
It's, like a Wallace and Gromit kind of thing. I don't know.
I was okay with this, but I just like that people actually being like getting their hands in there and like making these things. It wasn't just
what I'm saying is like this isn't necessarily part of a book. Like it is their own creation, right? The first one is a book.
Yes.
This is loosely based on what we had from previous.
Yeah.
So there's no book that like if there's a sequel to the book.
I don't think this one is based off of the book specifically.
I don't think it is either. That's why. So I'm just saying, I don't know, just make a different movie and don't call it Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That's just me though. But whatever.
Yeah. Nah.
Should we get to our questions, Jeremy?
Oh yeah, we can definitely get to our questions.
Unless you want to talk a little bit more.
No, but it's just so tough because like I wish I'd have gotten to the island faster. And I wish it was almost like I don't care if the bad guy shows up later.
I don't either, like, or if there's a twist to that.
They should have spent all that time getting to know like the animals and realizing, hey, they're not bad.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Yes, because that felt rushed at the end.
Yeah. And then going, wow, this is a great place, and almost like kind of living amongst them and learning their ways, and then the bad guys show up and they have to help defend.
That would have been more. Yes, there would have been more of a struggle there that I would have enjoyed more than just like, hey, they're actually families here.
Oh, and one other scene I do have to talk about.
Okay. Oh yes, please.
Flint Lockwood, the main character. So like you keep there's like pickle people who the father gets to know. Which, by the way, they were voiced.
Go ahead.
They were voiced by people gargling water while delivering lines.
But they also reminded me, like when they talked, it reminded me of those characters, not Itchy, Scratchy. That's Simpsons. South Park, where it's like
Terrence and Phillip.
Terrence and Phillip. That's what they reminded me of.
Where they had the flip top heads.
Yeah, the flip top heads.
Yeah, that's what it was like. And I love those. And there was like berry people.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, you start seeing more of them. Yeah, strawberries and blueberries and stuff. Barry is like a little strawberry, and he keeps making these sounds. He goes Lee, ooh, and like just keeps making.
Is this voiced by the director though, right?
Yes, he is. Yeah, he tried to pull Brad Bird. So he's doing the voices, and you realize like they're saying Flint Lockwood, or they're trying to, that he's basically kind of like their god. And he's like, no, I'm just a dude, and I'm here to help you. And he's speaking to all the food people, and while he's doing that, the strawberry is behind him translating, and it's just like blah, 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 just babbling, and for some reason,
I loved it too.
it was hilarious. I was dying because
I liked the strawberry.
I did too.
A lot.
Yeah.
I like the look of the strawberry.
Yep.
I felt like it because the strawberry had like obviously short legs and short hands, so we didn't get that herky jerkiness that you get with the other characters. So I was fine with that animation too.
Although at one point when I was looking at the arms and legs, I was like, are those ink and paint animation?
Probably.
Instead of the digital. Maybe it was too small to do digitally. I don't know. But whatever it was, like maybe it's just because they didn't have to put as much detail in or whatever. But it was adorable.
Yeah. Anyway, should we get to our 5 questions?
Yes, what is the best part of this movie?
Well, we talked about one of our favorite parts, which was that strawberry part.
Yeah.
Which I thought honestly, that's the part I laughed about the most. Probably because it was ridiculous but fun at the same time. Like it wasn't over the top, but it was just the right amount.
Because it was a boring speech.
Yeah, it was totally boring.
Well, not even boring. It's just like you've heard this kind of a speech 1,000 times.
There's a lot of milquetoast to this.
Yeah.
No pun intended, because it's milk and toast, and we're talking about food. Maybe that's what clouding the chance of milk toast, which is what this should be called. But a lot of I love the creativeness of the different animals or the food animals. So that's my favorite part of it. Yeah. If you don't have that, you really don't have that wonderful of a movie.
Yeah.
It's just there.
My favorite part, it's pretty broad, and I've just mentioned it here, but I love the island.
That's what I mean.
With all the creatures, very broad, but I love that. And I would rather have seen a movie where like they're trying to go back, they get shipwrecked, and then have to do whatever they're.
That's better to me.
Because then we could have just soaked in the island, and like you guys had all these creatures and all these possibilities that we didn't even see either.
That's what I mean.
I would have just loved. I could have just spent time on that island and screw everything else.
And not Will Forte. Yeah. And I like Will Forte. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he's fine. But the island to me was the clear bright point of this movie. Would you reboot, continue, or cancel?
I say continue, and in fact, it has continued with a television show.
Oh yeah.
And there was a video game of the sequel, which I can see that. And I don't know if they're talking about a third movie. And the reason why I say continue this is that there is potential in this.
Yeah.
Especially with the island.
Yes.
There's so much mythology that you have created with the island that you can go on with that I want to see more of that.
Yes.
I just want it written better, and I don't need like the evil guy there anymore. I just want to see that island, and I wanted to see all the people, come together and like learn to live with each other.
Yes.
Like that's what I want. So I want a reboot, or not a reboot. I want it to continue.
Yes, yeah. I would agree. I actually think the same. Like, my first instinct is to say cancel it, but like,
not me.
I'm intrigued to see like how they end up like forming this society together, because like the credits kind of show they're building their.
That's what I mean. It got me more.
Island.
That was more interesting than some of the movie, and I was like, good.
Yeah, it reminded. It was very like from the end of WALL-E. where you see like them reestablishing their society. But no, I want to see like,
you mean one of the best animation movie ever, Wall-E?
Like, yeah, art house animation, yeah.
Yes, to me that's one of the best animation movies.
Oh yeah,
that you'll ever get.
I can't believe you hadn't seen that.
No, never have, but I will love it. Okay,
yeah.
What's our next question?
Does this stand on its own?
No, there were a lot of questions I had through it. There's a lot of questions I brought up to you just in this podcast alone about the first movie. I don't think it stands on its own. I think it tries to. Like we said, even the title doesn't stand on its own.
Yeah. Well, so my problem is this: I don't think it stands on its own either. It's not just that there's these like jokes that you're like, unless you saw the first one, they don't pay off.
Right.
But on top of that, we have all these questions and all these uncertainties, and there was like a 15-minute long like expository dialogue
there was
at the beginning. Like they recap, and you still don't know what's happening.
I don't know where these people came from, who they are. I'm just assuming they're his friends.
It doesn't stand on its own in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Does this make you want to watch the first one?
Yeah, this does make me want to watch the first one. There's probably because it's different but not different, I think, from the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It makes me want to watch the first one to see how it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just to get kind of... Because maybe I would have enjoyed this a little bit more if I saw the first one, in a way. So I think it does make me want to watch it. And it also makes me, like I said before, continue with that island and the marshmallow people and the strawberry people and all the cheeseburger spiders and everything that they've created.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it does.
To be honest, if I saw this one and had not seen the first one at all, it wouldn't make me want to go back and watch the first one. Because I know that the island part is new.
Right.
And so I was like, and you see shots and stuff like that. I don't know that it would intrigue me enough to go back. I wouldn't turn it off if it came on, perhaps. But like, I wouldn't go out of my way to go see
right.
it.
When I say, like, I agree with you. When I say, does this make me want to watch the first one? Yes, it does. Does it make me want to watch it right away? No.
Yeah.
No. I have other stuff I need to watch.
Let me phrase it this way. Does it make me want to go out and like actively try to watch
No.
No. Does it make me, maybe think, I don't need to turn this off when it comes on in the background
correct.
when I'm doing something else? Correct.
Yeah. If I couldn't find a remote, it was there.
Yeah.
FX was playing it, whatever.
Yeah.
For a kid's movie. Yeah, sure.
Right.
I would, fine.
And sum up your experience in 2 words.
I think, is milk toast 1 word or 2 words?
I think it depends. I think it's 1.
Because mosquito milk toast. Okay. Milk toast. I mean, milk and toast. Food. It falls flat. It's like going to... This movie is like going to get pop out of the fountain. And you realize, ooh, that Pepsi? Ooh, that's flat. I'll just have this other thing. And then you realize...
Or it's mostly seltzer.
Ooh, that's flat too. And then you realize there's something wrong with the machine and not necessarily like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. I feel like there's something wrong with the machine. And I feel like, oh man, we really wanted to make a sequel. Here's what it was. I don't know. It just falls flat. What are your 2 words?
I would say...
Those are really great words.
Got indigestion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like...
Alka-Seltzer.
That's 1 word.
I know.
I think. No, like acid reflux. How about that?
Sure.
I think it's just like... it's one of these things where, like, when I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, this is here. But the more, like, I go back and think about it, like, I know which parts I really like and which parts I really don't.
Yes.
And the more it's going, I'm just like, ugh. Like, I just show me loops of like the parts I like and cut out everything.
Right.
else.
When we watched the trailer, the good parts are in the trailer. Mm-hmm. It is one of those movies where the good parts are in the trailer.
Yeah,
it seems like it is.
And
I was
funny
so
leak joke was in the fucking.
The funny
trailer.
thing is, I was really looking forward to this movie.
Yeah,
I was like, this is probably going to be decent. And I was like, it just falls flat.
It does, which is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. It really is unfortunate.
Yeah,
because I think this does have potential.
Yeah, and it does,
and there's still
parts of it where like if it was on, I'd be like, please be on the island already. Like the stuff with the animals like that.
Can we just have that?
That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, that concludes this episode, but we'll be back with my pick next week. We are going to be doing Jaws 2. Jaws 2.
The Jawsening.
The Jawsening of the Jawsenators. So look forward to that. But where can people find us, Jeremy?
People can find us at the deucepodcast.podbean.com.
You had one thing. To do.
I can't enunciate like this. I'm just having to grind out words. You can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Play, Stitcher, a lot of those kind of podcatchers. You can also find us on Facebook. On our page, please make sure that you're joining.
Rate us, tweet us.
Yeah, you can also get us on Twitter at Deuce Podcast, or you can also find us and the rest of our teammates over at nophonynetwork.com.
Yes, check out the episode of the week, Release the Clowns, episode 50,
and our podcast of the month, Lights in the Sky.
Yes. Go ahead and do that. Next week, we'll be doing Jaws 2, and it will be leading up to our August movies after that, which we'll be doing summer horror movies.
Yeah, we had so much fun doing... We realized we did summer comedy movies the first time. So now we're going to do some summer and camp kind of horror movies.
Should we let people know what that is? We got a little bit of time. We'll be doing I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yep.
Which still doesn't make sense. It's I Still Know What You Did 2 summers ago. Friday the 13th, part 2. Is it part 2? And Sleepaway Camp 2. So we'll be doing those. Those will be fun. And so look forward to that. But remember, folks, the sequel is king.
There's no way to say this song's about someone else. Every time you're not in my arms, I start to lose myself. Someone please pass me my shades. Don't let them see me down. You have taken over my days, so tonight I'm going out. Yet I'm feeling like there is no better place than right by your side. I had a little taste and I only spoiled the party anyway. Cause all the girls are looking fine, but you're the only one on my mind. La-di-dee, la-da-da-doo, la-da-da-me, la-da-da-you. La-di-dee, la-da-da-doo, there's only me, there's only you. La-di-dee, la-da-da-doo, la-da-da-me, la-da-da-you. La-di-dee, la-da-da-doo, when you were gone, I think of you. Oh, this place is packed with people, but your face is all I see. And the music's way too loud, but your voice won't let me be. So many pretty girls around, they're just dressing to impress. But the thought of you alone has got me running, I don't know what to say next. Feeling like there is no better place than